Good morning. Let's do this so the sun doesn't get into my face. Good morning, and I don't know which day is it in my marathon, but I hope you're also counting maybe your days whenever you started. The goal for today's conversation is to look into hard and easy and what make our life hard. In my conversations with many people, I always hear, well, but I don't have money, number one. I don't have time, number two. I don't have permission, my family doesn't want to. And I don't have any energy. So all of these are resources. And we find resources outside of ourselves in the form of money, people support, and also ideas. What we allow ourselves to do and what we don't allow ourselves to do is based on what we incorporated as our thinking process. And our thinking process is made out of many components, one of which is the day of your birth, because that is a matrix in the super objective reality, in the reality of your country, for example, where you have a legal document saying that you've been born on this day. You might be born on a different day, but if you are plugged into matrix under a particular number, it's like standing in line. If you're first, you get it this way. First one gets faster service, but maybe not the best service. First doesn't mean it's gonna be the best, it's gonna be fast. And sevens, for example, will wait until 7 other people will be served. So numbers are energies. It's the quality of the energies. Not only that there is, it creates an order in which you live, organizing order, organizing principle. It's just a good principle for me, for example. But you can live without numbers. Numbers will still live with you, because those are objective and super objective realities, and in your subjectivity you might understand it or not, but if you start focusing and pointing your attention to those energies that fluctuate within you and around you, because everybody has their own birthday, of course, you will start noticing what I'm talking about for a few days now. And if you didn't hear it in my previous podcast, walk and talk broadcast, you can find information about all the 9 numbers. But this is not the only situation in your life. There is also parents that give you their understanding of life, teachers, preachers, movies, media. You also have a soul star. This is a magical idea, again, a guiding principle, protection principle. Some of you believe in angels. We have it even in our language, saved by the bell or saved by the angels. Or God bless you, or may God protect you. So when you hear this, it comes from the ancient beliefs that we are all children of God, and we are as such being protected, loved, and led through life. What kind of energies protect and love and lead you through life is those energies are actually where you put your focus. When you put your focus on problems, issues, people who do not love you, you feel heavy. You feel things are hard. You feel nobody hears me, nobody listens, nobody understands, nobody's gonna support me. All of that is just because you are choosing guiding principles in your life through the lenses of the low vibrational qualities of people. Not everybody is happy, not everybody is accomplished, not everybody is energized. We come in all different shapes and thinking processes, and based on what kind of lenses we wear, I talked about it last time, this is what you see. So right now my head is like this because sun is coming out, right? But before sun was not there, and you might think I'm back in Chicago, I'm still in Florida. But Florida is not something that's always hot. It has all kinds of different weathers. Today, for example, is nice and windy, still pretty warm, but cool enough because sun is not out, and actually hurricane is coming. And hurricane is the accumulation of energy. It's where the water and wind come together in a dance that might be pretty dangerous if it falls on your house, but very beautiful if it's somewhere in the sea. Yesterday we saw the hurricane forming. And so it's easier to see outside how the hurricane is forming, but inside you, the hurricane is also forming, but we don't see it until it explodes and spills out in the water, for women especially, in tears, in sweat. Men rather sweat their tears out, and those of course are general statements. And what we allow ourselves to do is exactly what creates those hurricanes within. You probably heard that men don't cry. Men don't cry because we have a moral like that, the standard, the level of societal acceptance, what should or should not be happening. So we expect from men to be strong, to be leading, to be protecting, to be provider for the family, to be responsible. And so they don't really have a luxury of crying on somebody's shoulders, because then we see them as weak, as feminine, as incapable, as not as responsible. But the truth of the matter is, if men would allow themselves to cry, good morning, they probably would let go of part of the harshness that they experience through the world interactions, and probably they would be not as stressed. It is statistically known that men do not live as long, and the reason for this might be that they do not really allow their emotions to come out. And in ancient times, not so ancient times as well, even last century, 20th century, men fought a lot with each other. You know, if you, in school, if you were bullied by one person, you would smack that person in the nose. That's what I did, at least. I'm not saying you should, I'm just telling how I am. If somebody bothers me, I fight, because I have 9 in my matrix. My actions are produced through the energy of 9, which is protector, but also warrior. So I would protect everybody and anybody, including adults. And I fought a lot. But these days, you go to school, you're supposed to tell the teacher. In my school, in Russian school, if you tell a teacher, you'll be called a snitch, and nobody would play with you anymore. So we didn't tell the teachers, we resolved our issues ourselves. And as we did, we figured things out. When you fight, you might end up with the broken nose. So maybe next time you can find words to talk to this person. And because I was fighting a lot, I also was receiving all kinds of benefits and all kinds of problems with that. And even though everybody thought I'm pretty strong, I still had people who tried to bully me throughout my life. And I found words. I became pretty magical with my words. I actually had 2 situations in my life when I was 17 and I was about 28. 2 situations in which I would be absolutely raped if I would not use the magic of my words. But I know how to talk to a person, to bring their energy from the lower part of the body, where the energy accumulates and sits as a sexual desire, as a desire to survive and dominate, to higher level, where you can love and see things through the eyes of the heart, and even higher level, where you can reason and you can think. So because I know how to fluctuate energy and manipulate people with my words, I'm manipulating you every day. Get out, get out, get out, get out. Keep moving, because as you're moving, the need to fight disappears. Your body gets tired a little bit and lets go of the survival mechanisms based on reptilian brain and start reasoning a little better. But if you're too tired, you cannot reason as well, because the brain gives up, takes a lot of energy. So if you only walk a little bit, You might not be able to reason as well, but you also cannot fight as well. But when you allow yourself to follow your body and your mind and use analysis. This is the magic word. And analyze. Where am I? Who am I? Where I am going? Right now, I'm going around my neighborhood. So my mind is not focused on where to go, which absolutely allows the ease of the walk. And usually we focus on where we want to go all the time. We set a goal, and then everything we do has to fit the goal, and it creates a lot of stress because the day might not allow you, the energy of the day might not allow you to go toward your goal. Maybe there are some other interruptions. If you are capable of focusing on your goal with ease, without creating stress for yourself, great, you keep going. But if you feel that things becoming harder and you feel stressful and the time is slipping away, that means you're losing your resources, which is energy for action. And therefore, allowing yourself to be focused on a goal and yet being in the present moment and not focusing on a goal all the time is really helpful. Creates much easier flow of the day and much easier choices that you can make that will essentially bring you to your goal. So the way it works for me is that I look into 9-day cycle, and today is my first day in the cycle. Everything is in nines because we have an easier way to calculate with single numbers. So if you bring your birthday, for example, to the single number, you'll know how you think. That's the energy of your thinking. And if you bring the whole summary of all the numbers in your date, including months and year, then you have the actions, how you act. And again, I talked about it in other broadcasts. If you need a personal consultation in Russian, I'll leave you a link. In English, you can text me directly, and I'll give you an understanding of that, particulars about you. But the first day of the cycle is usually to look around at the summary of accumulations that happened throughout previous 9 days, and see what you want to keep and what you want to give away. So in my life, I have a lot of accumulations because I study a lot. I write things, I paint, I do things creatively, so my room is full of all kinds of interesting things that will be used later. Later is a good thing, but you need to find a good place for it. If the later stays in front of you, that disturbs your focus of now. So whatever later you have in your mind, you can give it away or you can store it away so it's not in your way, and you can be going easy toward your goal and be on your way. The other thing is the goal needs to be big enough, and I call it a dream. If your goal is not making you scared a little bit, not in a bad way, in a good way, like an excitement, like, ooh, I don't know what to do about it, but I can find out. If that goal is big enough, no matter what you do, will get you in the target. But if it's a tiny, narrow-minded goal, because you do not allow yourself to have a bigger goal, what if it's not going to happen? What if I don't have money or time or resources, or maybe my family is not going to support me, or somebody will not love my talks, or somebody will judge me the way I dressed on my walk, or something like that. We can always find the excuse of making the goal smaller because it looks more achievable. But the truth of the matter is the smaller goal it elicits smaller energy, and smaller responsibility does not give you enough oomph. And if you are awakened and aware person that always does the right thing for the right reasons, I'm very happy for you, and I'm blessed to have you among my friends. But I'm not that kind of person. I'm very dispersed. I believe that creative minds are like that. Sometimes people say attention deficit disorder or hyperactivity disorder. For me, it's not disorder of a medical sort. It's disorder of the thinking. It's the way we organize our thoughts. And the way we organize our thoughts are through the morals and standards. What are the morals and standards? It's what our society, our family, our country, our planet believes is right. But we're not the same, so what's right for you might not be right for me, and other way around. For example, if you love chicken, chicken soup is right for you, not so good for the chicken. I'm a vegetarian, but not for that reason. I don't think we should not eat chicken, because chicken were raised exactly for that reason. I believe we should choose what you want to eat in that moment. So throughout my life, I ate chicken, then I didn't, and now I don't. But I don't know what's going to happen in the future, because for me, life is about allowing choices and experiences. When you allow choices and experiences, your thinking starts expanding beyond the experiences you already have. But when you're a child, the experiences you have are built by your parents or your teacher, or if you're in a religious school, your preacher. But still, those choices are not necessarily yours. And usually by 14 you rebel. But being me, with the mission 9, which is my actions, I've been rebellious all my life. Only now I understand that rightfulness and righteousness is just another moral. And I could fight, or I can talk, or I can not focus on things that are not right for me, which brings me into a whole different experience. So what are your morals? It would be great if you focus for the next few days, I'll be focusing on it for my 9-day cycle, to notice where my morals, my standards, my ideas of how things should be are not necessarily mine and work against me. For example, I love traveling as a family, and one of the ideas I have that in a family you should have the same similar interests so you can do things together. That's a great idea. Probably comes from my mother, because my father was a geologist. He wasn't home too much, so when he would come home, she would want to spend every moment with him. But the truth of the matter is, I'm not like my mother, not like my father. I am absolutely okay to be alone. But that idea that I always have to drag my family with me creates some difficulties, because not everybody wants to go where I want to go. So a few weeks ago, I decided I want to go to another country to study something that is extremely important for me, which is how to organize my thinking, because I have gazillions of ideas every day, because my birthday is 25, which amounts to number 7, which is the cosmic thinking. So the channel is open, ideas are running in, and sometimes I do them. Very often I actually produce things based on my ideas. Even more often I help my clients produce things that they want to do, or something that I want to do and they want to do alliance. That's even better. But sometimes I just put them in a box and they accumulate, just because there is a limited amount of time. Another belief that because I don't organize my time well, it slips away sometimes. And then I have a feeling nobody supports me. I don't have time. I have to do other things with the family because they don't do things with me. Again, just an idea. The truth of the matter is, we are individuals, even in the classroom, even in the family, even in a planetary sense. We are together. But in the physical realm, in the body, we are alone. We are born alone, even though the mother's there. We separate from the mother. But even while you're in the mother's body, you are a separate being, incorporating every feeling, every meeting, every experience that she have, she has, and 9 months later, another nine-month cycle, you come out, and now you have a separate being with the thinking process of the mother and the father, mostly mothers. And then we start learning, but the first guidance we receive from the parents. So now we live the life that they wish for us to live. And it's not necessarily the life that you meant to live. Not only that, but they have ambitions that they did not accomplish in their life. So now you have their ambitions. Now you go to the classes and school of their choice. And sometimes even prof orientation happens like that. Because, for example, my mother got to be an engineer. And she's an extremely creative person like me, or I'm like her. And if she could dance and sing and create dresses, she would be so much more happier. And maybe then she would not need somebody to be by her all the time entertaining her, because she would be entertained. So, because she's also born on the 7th, she's a cosmic being, and she writes poetry, and she used to do all kinds of things with her hands. Now she's older, so it's hard for her. But all her creativity came to me, but also all her limitations in thinking and all my father's limitation in thinking came into my bank here, and was recorded by the age of 18. It's about 25,000 of hours recorded in how we should be and how we must be. But every number has its own moral, on top of the morals of the parents and on top of the morals of the country or community and country and religious connotations and planetary and all of it. On top of all of it, you also have your morals according to your number. So, morning. So, if you're born on the 1st, or the summary of your day numbers is 1, you only have one moral. Do like me. I am right and I'm wrong. And my moral is, those people who do what I say are my people, and I will support them at all costs. Those people who are not doing what I said, who are not interested in my direction or guidance or leadership, those are not my people. And when you're based in your thinking on this moral, half of the people might not be the people you ever connect, because we separate people, we divide people with our morals. If you're born on the 2nd or the birthday, numbers make 1 in summary, like for example 10. What happens here, I'm sorry, that's for the number 1. For the number 2, if you are born on the 2nd or 20th or anything that creates number 2, like 11th, for example, in summary. So these people morals are, nobody hears me, nobody listens to me, nobody understands me, and I cannot make relationships of my choice. I can make relationships, but people in relationship never give me what I give them. And these people end up calculating all the time. But they're so scared of losing relationship, this is the major fear, that they try to save relationship at all costs. Saving relationship is extremely important, because people change, we change, and we come into communion with each other at some point, because at that moment we vibrate in the same way. So if you don't like something about somebody else, the vibration you're experiencing is the vibration you relate to. And that is a bottleneck that does not allow you an opportunity that comes with that person. So, saving relationship against all odds is not necessarily the right way of thinking about it. The better way of thinking about it, I'll leave the door open. I do not burn the bridges, because if there is an opportunity for us to come into communion again at a higher vibration, why would I not welcome that opportunity? Again, it's all about what do you allow yourself. But people that are born on the 2nd are usually saving relationships that are no longer useful. And this saving does not come from the higher perspective of when and how it will happen. It's focused on I will do it as a sacrifice. And sacrifice never amounts to love, because the more you sacrifice, the less you love the person. And the less you love yourself, because you're doing something against your will. All right, and it's only the matter of time when you will actually break the relationship. So it's better to be with people that align with you for a moment and leave the door open for the other people whenever they are ready to come back, or whenever you are ready to commune with these people without applying any morals that this person is like that, and therefore I divide myself from them, I separate myself from them. And then with number 3, day of birth, on the 3rd or 21st or 12th or 30th, for example, the moral is, this is not right. This person is wrong. And we analyze other person according to what's right or wrong in our family or in our society. But if that person comes from another place, for example, our children come from another place, from the planet or star or wherever from the universe, and they eat with their hands, and they don't have teeth to chew, so everything is slipping out of their mouth, and they have no hair. But we don't judge children up to a certain age, right? So when the little baby spills everything and poops everywhere, it's totally okay. When your 40-year-old baby does the same thing, you're not right. So it's just a matter of perception, because the people live according to what they are able to live. The qualities they have, the lessons they receive, most of those lessons are from us anyway. And so when they poop around, that means it's our poop. So instead of judging, maybe you can let them learn that poop does not belong to you anymore. You've given them some ideas, they use their ideas, those ideas, they integrate them. And if it ends up as a poop, it's their job to clean it up. So through using this analysis, the most important idea I can give you, that when you are not in judgment, when you're not in a low frequency of criticism or being upset about doing something for somebody else because they're not incapable, you just step back and look at the situation and notice they are okay. It's your problem with their poop. And they are totally okay. And if they're not okay, they will ask you for help, and you can decide to say yes or no, or they'll ask a specialist, as a cleaning lady or whoever else they need to clean up the poop. But they might learn from it. If you clean up the poop, they will never learn, and you'll see another poop in your environment, which is totally your choice. At least that's how it works for me. I've been cleaning a lot of poops from all kinds of people, not just kids, of course. And then I realized that people need to live their life. And if I'm okay, and I'm strong, and I'm smart, and I love myself enough to realize that my life belongs to me, they have just the same capability. They also can be okay if they choose to. They don't have to hang upside down and wait until somebody else untie them. They can ask for help or untie themselves. There are many different ways to make choices that work better for you. And then people who are born on 4, their moral is it's dishonorable, it's dishonest. It's I cannot be with you because you're lying to yourself or to others, or you have criminal actions or something like that. I actually have a client who was in her family, and the family was so screwed up in many different ways, including dependencies, all kinds of dependencies, that she wanted out. And she found somebody in the criminal institution, because you know how they write letters to people to find support. So at the age of 11, she found this guy, 21, and it became her dream. She built a castle, and she put a prince in it, and later on she discovered he was a criminal. But that's not the point. The point is that she did not separate. She was longing for a relationship that was different, and in her ability to find love for that person and to support that person through the letters and pictures and however they communicated over the years, because she of course could not travel where he was. But by the time he got out, she was a grown-up woman and she made other choices not to be with him necessarily. But it saved her from being a victim of her environment. So even if the person creates a dishonest action, this is just an action from the lowest perspective. And sometimes people don't know. And sometimes they use information in the wrong way. So when we separate from those people, they will never know. Maybe they learn from somebody else who is not separating from them. But our morals sometimes do not allow us a deep-hearted connection. We do sessions for the right people, for your niche. I've been told you should do work in your niche. And I'm like, how can I have a niche if I'm a cosmic being? I'm a channel. I can pretty much know everything about anything. You just need to ask me, and I'll help you. I'll channel that energy for you, and it'll be pretty accurate. I've checked over the years what was channeled was necessary and important. But I'm also a crisis manager. So when people come to me and ask questions and I give them an answer and then they go, I had such a crisis. Like, of course, because you came to me on the brink of a crisis. I didn't make the crisis for you. But as I learn a more structured way of asking questions, of analyzing, I can prevent big crisis from happening. If you are destined to have a crisis, and if it's in your morals, I of course cannot save you from that. But at least I can give you enough information so you can navigate that crisis, and I can give you tools, and I can give you the higher vibrational focus, which will propel you forward faster. Skip over the big lump of poop and be on the other side where the crisis is over. And then people who are born on the 5th or have 5 as a summary of their birthday, like for example 14th or 23rd, what happens here is these people are fighting because their energy is very fast. They want to push the ideas through you, through their communication, and very often they communicate as if they are bulldozers. And instead of giving you an opportunity, they give you a pressure. And nobody likes the pressure. So that's why when you go somewhere and somebody goes after you, like, would you like this? Would you like that? Would you like something else? Let me help you. You go, no, thank you. But you do want the help. And you would rather have the help. But when the help comes in this rapid, rushed, strong way, without understanding the need of the person to whom you offer your help, that help might not necessarily be accepted. And the moral of the 5th is about I need to deliver it right away. And if they're not listening and they're not doing it, I have to use all my capability, all my power, whatever's in my power, to deliver what is important to me. So how many people did you alienate from your business, for example, or from your life by pushing through something that you believe has to be accepted? We sell things all the time. You don't need to be a salesperson. We sell ourselves, our ideas, our desires. We always sell it, especially if you are not alone and you live in a family. You need to be a good salesperson. And being a good salesperson is about understanding the needs of the other. What do they need? You can only sell something they need. not something you need. So, for example, I've invited my husband to go study with me, and he doesn't care for studying with me. Then I changed the subject, and I said, in Turkey, tango is amazing. You can go dance. And he said, maybe, but not this time. But I couldn't sell what he actually would buy. I would spend all this time with you. Because when I'm studying, transformation happens rapidly. And I cannot promise that. But if I'd be a good salesperson, which 5 usually is, and they can lie a little bit, make it a little bit prettier so you can buy it, I would say, well, we will spend all this time together. We will live in the same room. We will eat in the same hotel. We will study in the same place. We will enjoy each other every day. And I promise you, he would drop whatever he has and go. But I didn't do it because my morals are not about selling something. That is not 100% true. So all my clients know that I can be very truthful. I am always very truthful, and it can be sometimes a little too harsh. So I'm learning how not to deliver truth in harsh ways. But I believe my mission, because I'm 9, is about being truthful and generate ideas in a way that is mutually beneficial, not just for me and the client, but for the whole world. So 9 is about having a bigger picture of the world, because 9 has 10% of each number, which makes it 9. But the moral of the 9, and if they do not do it right, I'm gonna beat them up. So I always measure how people do things that are mutually beneficial and safe for everybody, which you understand is not necessarily true, because what's safe for me might not be safe for you. My husband likes to climb, so he went to Mount Everest. How safe it was? No, it wasn't safe ever. But he's also 9, a mission 9. His actions are 9. So he could be extremely risky. But at the last moment, that safety kicks in without him even understanding, because his thinking is not necessarily 9, but his actions are 9. And as 9, he finds the way back home safe and secure. And of course I trained him, and of course I've supported him throughout the whole trip, because I'm also 9, and safety is the most important thing. We even created socks with the help of our friend Arnold, a great friend, also amazing ideas. So together they created socks in which they had batteries and wires and whatever else, so my husband's feet would not get cold. He has a book about that experience. If you're interested, on Amazon, it's called See It From the Top, How to Climb Mount Everest Without Quitting Your Day Job. Very interesting book. He was writing it while he was on a trip, so the experience was pretty raw, but there are a lot of interesting ideas about how to climb mountains, and how to climb rocks, and how to accomplish the goal that you set for yourself. So, little infomercial, because I love this book. I also have a chapter, the view from the top that I've gotten, because I did get to the base camp, but it was a harsh trip for me, because I'm not a climber, or I wasn't before I went. So, number 6 morals are, this is not comfortable, and therefore I'm not gonna do it. So 6, measuring everything through love and wisdom, and when things are not comfortable, they disappear from the scene. So if you are born on the 6th, or you're born on 15th, or 24, you might notice that you're always looking for what's comfortable. And sometimes opportunities arise where it's not comfortable. Right now I'm traveling to another country alone. I have 2 stops because I couldn't find a better ticket, and I decided to sleep over in one of the cities, because that's easier on the body, more comfortable for the body. So that's not very comfortable. I'm going to a place where people speak different language. I don't know anybody. Usually I go with somebody. Here I don't know anybody. I actually have couple clients who I've never met from another country who are also coming there. So maybe we'll see each other, maybe not. I don't know, because it's a lot of, about 500 people, I believe. So it's a little unnerving. And I used to travel a lot when I was Matrix Energetics master, because I've been assisting Richard Bartlett in many different venues around the country. But it's been about, about 15 years ago. I have not been traveling alone for a long time, mostly, maybe 1 or 2 times. I've been traveling with my husband, because that's how things are right now. And I used to go other places. He used to go climbing much more. Now we are both in Tango, and we do it together. And we travel every month, once a month, twice a month. But I forgot how to take care of myself alone. So that's an interesting experience for which I need to expand my mind and let go of the idea that uncomfortable things are dangerous. Because remember, I'm all about safety. Uncomfortable things open up your mind, sharpen your senses, give you opportunities to deal with people you haven't dealt with before, to be more diplomatic, more strategic in your moves, to be more analyzing, more focused, and to get information and read the information as energy, and read energy as information, so you can communicate appropriately, and you can find the more comfortable approach to challenges of the road. At the same time, I know that I'm full of energy, and this is about 7. 7 likes things to be cosmic and energized, and when somebody is in low energy, 7 doesn't want to deal with it really, because it slows me down. At the same time, all my life, I was running like a crazy chariot of the god Helios, running through the sky like a sun god in its golden chariot. And because I have so much energy, I would grab anybody on the road and put them in my chariot and let's go faster. And this idea that everybody should be fast like me does not serve me or other people. It slows me down and it speeds up other people. And this is just my moral, that everybody should do things fast and everybody should be moving toward their goal directly. Well, usually we don't go to goals directly, even me. You put a goal, like a dot, point B, and then you go from point A to point B straight line. No, you go what if, and it creates another point. What if it's not going to happen? What if I get sick? What if I don't have time? What if I don't have money? What if my family does not support me? What if it's too dangerous? What if something happens? So those what if create gazillions of different points, and your focus goes there, and immediately it creates a scenario. So I'm going to erase it with my big eraser, because I just created 25 ifs, and make a choice to be in my energy, but without my morals. I allow myself to be in the flow, however it goes. If it goes fast, it goes fast. If it goes slow, it goes slow. It goes however it goes. And I make a choice to be present in any moment, so I can have better decisions and not necessarily focus on other things that might or might not happen, because those are not in my control. What is in my control is my energy, and my energy is based on my thinking. And if you're born on 8th, or you have 26, or what else, 26 or 17, if it's part of your birthday, those numbers, you're very focused on the material result, which, as I explained, I'm 9, so all my life I'm focusing on the material result as well, because 8 is part of me. So if you're always focusing on that, the moral would be, is it going to be profitable or not? How much profit am I going to get from it? And not everything can be profitable. You cannot learn and sell your education. You can learn and become a different person. Yes. And as I said, you're always selling yourself. So it's not a linear thinking about I put 2,500 in this education, 1,500 in that ticket, and 500 in that hotel, and now I have to come back and make my session $5,000. I could, and I promise you there are people that would take my sessions at that price, but I don't choose to do that because for me, safety is first, and my knowledge, my learning, my expanding of my thinking helps other people learn from me. Maybe those who do not have 5,000 to go to study can come back to me with the questions, and I will be able to give them a much more structured lesson session answer, because my mind would be focused not on the material result, but on the question itself. Not on the material result, but on the structure of life, the structure of the cosmos, and understanding what it is to be part of the whole, be integral part of everything that's happening without using any morals to limit yourself in your ability to be. I now have a new mantra that came from the movie I saw on the flight. The movie is called Eat, Pray, Love. And Julie Roberts is the heroine of this movie, and she says, the God can dwell in you only as you. The God dwells in you only as you. God cannot be anything else in your body. So if you try to pretend to be somebody else, or you try to please somebody to be that somebody wants you to be, when you use your morals to make other people please you, or to make other people fit your understanding of life, that is when you do not have enough velocity, enough energy, enough openness, enough emptiness to see life, to accept life, to experience life as it comes to you. What I realize for myself, every time there is a thought, then there is a feeling, then there is an action. The actions that are most beneficial come from the thoughts that are bigger ideas, bigger dreams. When I allow myself to do something I haven't done before, when I do not separate from people but allow people to be resources, in whichever way they come. When I start blessing, being grateful for those people who stir up my juices, so I can see my bottlenecks. I see where I'm limiting myself with the thinking that somebody does not hear me, doesn't listen, does not understand. And I am absolutely grateful for those of you who are listening now in this moment or later on, and even if you don't listen. My intent is to bring the knowledge of Syucai, the science I'm studying, the knowledge of discipline of mind and body, the knowledge of making choices that allow flow of energy and information in a most optimal way between people and the universe. I am making that my priority, not my morals, because if my morals are my goals, you'll see me in the same way every day, but I'm different every day, so you can notice. And I'm focusing on being that what I am looking for. What I'm seeking is what I am already, or I wouldn't be seeking it. What interests me, what inspires me is who I am already, is not what I want to be. I easily share my ideas for books and projects with other people. And I'm being asked, why are you doing it? And my answer is that I have so many ideas it's enough for the whole world, to inspire the whole world. And I know that I have more by the minute, because as I'm opening my mind to what is mine to cause and create, I choose those projects that nobody else can do, because again, I have my own opportunities, possibilities, potentials in life. And the word potential, potency, comes from ability to create babies, projects, yourself, your life. It comes from the root, the word of being potent, of having the energy within to produce the energy without. But if we limit the energy within by all kinds of ideas, limiting ideas about the outside world, not necessarily taking us in or supporting us or accepting us, it just simply means what you're seeking in the world is you. So if you're seeking, if you're noticing that you're not being loved or accepted or supported, that means within you are those limiting ideas and beliefs. And to let go of this is a very simple action, which is not surprise, because I've been talking about it every day. You just do it. If you think it's too hard to walk, just do it and see how many steps can you make today. If you think it's too hard to walk, to talk to yourself. Sing a song in the bathroom. Get outside, sing the song, and see what animals will come to your song. I once traveled with the group. I used to do spiritual travel for the groups, and some of you who are my friends already been on those trips in Peru and Hawaii and many other places, Costa Rica. We've done all kinds of interesting trips to connect with nature. And so when we went to Hawaii, we went in the bay where dolphins were sleeping every night. And then in the morning they would disappear. So if you're there by 6 o'clock, you see them sleeping and floating in the waters around you. But later on, they would disappear. So sometimes we were there early, but sometimes we were there later in the day. And we would go to the water and we would start creating sacred geometry images in our head, coloring it in different colors, and singing, just singing, simply within yourself or out loud. But the song was not necessarily for the words in it. It was more of a hum. So sacred geometry and humming. And the dolphins would come back. And on the beach, we've met some heart math practitioners. Heart Math Institute is studying how our breath and heart energy is connected and how it helps people get better, for example. You can find heart math online on Google. So they were on the beach and they saw that. And they got to me, because I was also broadcasting from there. So they realized I'm a leader, came to me and said, we would like to see what happens before and after you swim with dolphins. And our whole group, I don't remember, 16 people or something like that, went through the measurements, very simple measurements. They put like a little sensor on your finger, and they measure it just when we come to the beach. And then we go and we commune with the dolphins, and they measure the second measurements. And there are gradations. So let's say before we all went, people were 20 to 30. On the way out, we had 90 hertz or percent. I don't remember exactly how the measurements go, but the jump was that big. I'm a leader, right? So always in high energy, especially when I'm with people and I'm leading, it really charges me. So my energy was like 75 or 80 when I went. So it jumped to higher number, over 90. I don't remember exactly what it was. But even for me, I thought I'm so high on life. I never use any drugs, by the way. And I don't recommend you do it, because your brain loses the connection with the real world when you go to virtual world. And by drugs, I mean anything, prescriptional, non-prescriptional. And even any plants, including ayahuasca or anything else, alters your mind. It does open some things in a way that it disturbs the neural connections within your brain. It does make new connections, of course. But you can do the same thing by drawing or coloring or meditating. And that will be available to you at any time, just like dolphins. Being in the nature, swimming with the dolphins who are extremely expanded in their consciousness. Their life is simple, so to speak. They care for each other. They play with each other. They caress each other. They live in an environment that has everything they need for any moment. They sleep in that environment while their brain never sleeps 100%. They have 6 compartments of the brain. 2 of them are never sleeping, I believe, to keep them afloat. And they don't need to build anything. They don't need to drive the cars. The whole life is a play. And wouldn't that be wonderful? If we can simplify our life, let go of all the morals and all the ideas that we need bigger of everything, more of everything, and harder of everything. Because one of the ideas, you have to work hard to get what you need to get. And just allow yourself to be easy, moving easy through life, focusing on easy stuff, dreaming big, without creating any stories about how impossible it is. And if we want to create stories, we create stories of love and connection and magic, and then acting on that stories. Do not forget that part, because some people do affirmations, meditations, and wait until something drops into their laps. It happens sometimes for magical people like me, but my intention is for something big to drop in my life in Istanbul, for sure. But something big drops in your life all the time. Everything is big. It depends on what you're focusing, right? So when you focus and make it big, it will be big. And the choice is yours. And with that, I conclude my broadcast today. I'm wishing you the most incredible day, the day of new beginnings, or the new completions, or the day of new comfortable, or the new uncomfortable, the day where you find your energy, or you lose your energy and you understand what you need to gain your energy, or the day where you start talking to the people you haven't talked forever, or the day that you create an energy from information, and you read information from the energy you create. And most importantly, the day where you keep your material results in focus while remembering that you are the only person who is responsible for your life and your safety in this life. May you be blessed with all that is yours to choose and create, and may you let go of everything that allows other people to choose and create according to who they are. Great day.